The government promised us resilience. Gibraltar got a blackout. This is one of a series of blackouts that's been happening. I lose count. I think it's 10 already this year. So we see a catalogue of errors and failures that the government is unable to deliver secure and consistent supply of power, which is something they promised that the new power station would eradicate, and the additional cost, expense, the introduction of the best batteries. And they are failing not only to deliver, but to shoulder this responsibility for the blame. And that, I think, was something shocking from the interview yesterday, the complete absence of any humility, of any apology, of any empathy for people stuck in lifts, for businesses unable to conduct their business, losing business to restaurants in Spain as people went over to watch the World Cup over there, where it was safe to know that they would be able to get the television match, the match streamed on television. You know, there was also a large conference going on, a big summit at KPMG on the Sunbourne, where we were showcasing Gibraltar's talent in the gaming sector. I mean, what type of example does this set? It's a shocking catalogue of failures.
Now, the Minister said that the battery energy system worked as designed but was unable to cope with the demand placed after 2 engines failed. Could yesterday just have been a particularly unfortunate one-off?
Well, if it's happened once, it can happen again. So clearly something has to be done, lessons need to be learnt. But the worrying thing is that this wasn't anticipated. You know, without getting too technical, the best battery backup has a potential to provide 14 megawatts of power. At peak, we consume in Gibraltar around 43 megawatts of power. And so the setup has to be such in the power station and the transition to the backup and alternative generators that prevents this from happening, even if the configuration was as it was last night. And that actually is a line of question worth following, which we will be following up in Parliament.
And what would the GSD like to see done?
We'd like to see the lights stay on, please. We'd like to see business be able to flourish. You know, people not stuck in lifts. There needs to be long-term, finite fixes. You know, they need to be definitive. We cannot allow room for errors and what-ifs and we didn't anticipate. Those are excuses that must be something of the past, and we need to come up with solutions that a community can rely on.